Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Right on Cue Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Logan Chestnut. Joining me tonight is my barbecue brother, Mr. Houston Lyle of Small Batch Barbecue. Also joining us tonight for the first time ever, Mr. Justin Turner of the New Alabama Barbecue Team, 2023 Backyard Rib Team of the Year. What?
Juicy.
What up?
How's it going, fellas? How we doing tonight?
Tip top.
Hey,
Cold.
Trying to stay warm.
Houston, you were looking fantastic after that snow day, booze day we had yesterday.
It got a little heavy.
Little heavy, buddy. Huh? You look like one of those Nashville bachelorette parties, like the day after. You're like, woo!
Minus the wind burn.
Yeah, just burn.
I am definitely wind
like,
burned.
What Andy Reid? You're like Andy Reid on the sideline of that football game. Just nothing but there's just frost burn on his face.
Oh yeah, no, I shaved my pervert stash off just because of it.
To walk in the door at any time. Here, have a seat.
Yeah.
Would you like some cookies and Kool-Aid? Man, we got a great show tonight. I am excited. Jason Cole in the house.
Woo.
What? Now, it's gonna be a good one. Before we cut to him, Justin, you got a class coming up, right? It's coming up. Is it next weekend or this weekend or which one?
Yeah, it's this weekend, the 20th. We've got a little special we're going to run. So anybody that has already signed up, if we can fill up, we got 4 spots to fill. If we can get that class filled up by tomorrow at 5 p.m. At 6 tomorrow night, we'll draw a BOGO, so half price entry basically. And for the teams that's already signed and paid up, it's a $125 gift card to Brothers Q that's good for the entire year.
I like it, man. Brothers Q's where it's at. And
Wait,
how do you say that city you are doing? I can never do Alabama cities.
I was going to say you're going to have to pronounce it.
Aniana.
What was it?
Aniana.
There we go. Aniana.
Okay.
I like it. I like it. Respect. So for what is it, $150? I can cook like you and AJ?
125.
Even better. 125, I can cook like you guys?
Well, the total cost is $250, but if we get for the drawing, it's $125.
Oh, fair enough, man. Fair enough, man. Well, if I can just get one GC like you boys, I mean, that pays for itself.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, man, I know y'all gonna kick butt this year. Your first one, you're gonna do Smoker Shore this year, aren't you?
I'm not gonna be able to make that one due to my work schedule. My first one won't be until April at Smoke and Water in Florence, but AJ will be at Smoke.
I was gonna say, is AJ gonna be at Smoke?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Nice.
Man, well, there you go, Houston. There goes our shot. We were trying to do better than last year. Although we did, that was the only contest I think we beat y'all at last year. So
No.
I don't know if you got one of these. I don't know if you got one of these beautiful records in my background that I totally didn't put there on purpose.
Well, I mean, we got Jason on tonight. Maybe we could do the old box swapperoo.
Well, man, speaking of smoking on shore, let's go ahead and bring Jason on and let's get it on. Mr. Jason, how are we doing tonight, brother?
Good, brother. How are you?
Always good, man. Always good. Thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Always a pleasure.
Awesome, man. Also, I know you're a busy man with this contest tonight. How many teams you got going so far?
So we have a 50 backyard. We're full at 50 backyard. We've got about 10, maybe 11 spots left in pro. Our goal is to get to 100 pro. So
I got it.
We've got around 89, 90 pro right now.
I got it.
A lot of big name teams. So
besides
you guys on the call here.
I mean, right here.
Names.
So what you're saying is backyard are the go-getters and the pros are the slackers?
I don't know about that. we did this year. We had backyard, we're doing pork this year, so I know a lot of backyard teams are pretty excited about that. So
I'm very excited about pork, man. I think backyard across the board should do pork and more contests. I think it'd be a great entryways for backyard to be more comfortable going into the pro.
We had a lot of teams last year asked us after the event if we could have pork as one of the categories, and why not? So the judges that were judging the backyard, they liked it as well. They would like to have a pork because they get to come and judge 3 meets instead of 2.
Sure,
so they're a little more involved. So we talked about it. And we're like, let's make it happen.
Awesome. Besides, obviously the trophy. I mean, how big of a pain in the butt is it to add a meat category to a contest?
Not that bad. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, the judges are already there.
They want more.
It's a little more payout, right? So you got to make sure you have the money. And there's trophies involved. So
right. Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm gonna sit here and make a push for backyard to go 3 meet versus 2 meet. I'm sure it's a popular opinion in some areas, and some areas it's not. But
it's different across I'm sure across the Southeast. I'm sure it's different across the country. Well, some people like it, some people don't.
Yeah, well, I think with 3 meet though, for sure. In backyard, the only thing that sometimes I say negatively is you got to almost win 1 or 2 on a category to have a shot at GC. Versus you throw that 3rd meet in there, you can get top 10 and still be have a shot at the ring.
No, with the 2 meets, you really can't drop a category.
No, you got to be hitting on all cylinders.
You got to be on point. And that's the same way in pro. I mean, you could have a 3-call day and bomb in category. I mean, it kills you.
For sure.
I've been there, done that.
For sure. Well, I mean, backyard last year, we got a 180 in chicken, and I turned in pork chops instead of ribs for the other category. And I think we got 26th, and we ended up I don't even think we made top 10. So fun times. No, so smoking ashore, I mean, I think across the board, everybody will agree it's one of the premier, if not the premier, competition this side of the Mississippi. What do you think that you've done? I mean, I know you're great friends. You're a fantastic guy. And, friends with all the big guys. But I mean, it seems like every year you draw in big names, and it turns into a who's who of barbecue when they show up. What do you think you do? Smoking ashore, or that you could tell other hosts or organizers to kind of give them a leg up when they start off?
I don't think we. I don't think we do a lot. We do a lot right, and I'll say that we have a great time of the year. We also have a great location. We've been very fortunate to work with the fairgrounds there in Lebanon. And when we grow, they're always so helpful to help us. What we need, we get. So I think you got to have a great location, place that has power and water, asphalt, stuff like that. That's from a team standpoint. From a judge's standpoint, we probably have the best judging setup there is. They're indoors. They've got bathrooms. It's not cold. It's not hot. It's they're pampered inside that room, right? So
that's good. That's good, man. We want them happy. We want them happy.
Yes, exactly. But I think the time of the year really helps us. We're fortunate. We're one of the first big competitions of the year. Behind Sip and Swan and some others. We've been very blessed to grow to where we're at now. And we didn't start that big. It just kind of grew that big, and we're always happy and thankful for everyone coming supporting us, because at the end of the day, we do this to support charities. And that's what Jeff and I started for. And that's what we want to continue to do, is give money back to charities, to, just give back to our community.
Awesome. Absolutely. Well, I know as far as location wise, I mean, I think everybody says, it's the best location we go to all year. But personally, for me, for multiple reasons, mainly, it's a great competition. It's the who's who of barbecue I don't ever get to see. And then also it doesn't hurt that it's 40 minutes from my house, which, I never get to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's kind of how we started. I mean, there used to be when Sam's goes around, there was one in Hendersonville. And Jeff and I I live in Gallatin. He lives in Hendersonville. And we just got talking about contests that are not coming back next year. And why not us? Why not us try it? So we've competed a lot, never as a team, but I was always seeing them at contests. And we decided, let's just try it. How hard could it really be?
Yeah,
So,
how hard? Super easy.
We learned a lot. Trust me, we learned a lot. So
it's just falling off the back of a log.
Yes, it's been an interesting ride, but I don't think Jeff would agree with me that we never thought it would grow to where it's at right now. But we're extremely happy where it's at. We give great money to charities. We give this past year, 2023, we gave over 600 pounds of meat to Nashville Intersecond Ministries, and they fed I don't know how many families with that meat that the competitors that donated it. Just another sidebar that helps just give back to our community.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I think that's fantastic. That's one thing about competition barbecue. I feel like there's so much waste. It's like after all the cooks cook, the last thing in the world, you can pay me to eat barbecue after a barbecue competition.
Yeah.
I leave it out in the pan and somehow it always disappears out in front of my trailer. I don't give it away or nothing, but somehow I leave it in a pan and it disappears. I don't ask questions.
Yeah.
But I think it's fantastic. You guys take that and you turn it into something charitable, which I think every contest should do. Honestly, I think that would be a good thing for other people to start looking into, to add more appealingness to these barbecue competitions, where we're starting to see some competitions go to the wayside, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is the first year we did it, and Eric Cantrell, he's also on the committee. He knew about this organization, so he had contacted them. I think they were a little overwhelmed. They brought a truck or a van, and they were a little overwhelmed.
They brought a van down by the river.
So they filled the van up, and we still had food left over, and we were able to donate that to the firefighters and the police station right next door.
Panel van full of smoked meat.
Yeah.
Hey, if I'm a kid, I'm getting in that one.
Yeah.
They
sent us a message and said
meat, man.
They weighted up and portioned it all out, and it was like 600 pounds of meat. So we'll talk about that at the competition this year, but that's just a great generosity from the competitors that donated it. Because more than likely they're not going to eat it. They're going to either freeze it or throw it away.
Sure.
But they were able to donate it to a cause that fed a lot of needy kids in the inner city Nashville.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. It's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure the police and firefighters are happy to help out consume some of those ribs.
Oh, yeah. The staff at the fairgrounds, they gave some to them. So they do such a great job for us. I mean, they do all the trash for us. They set up all the stands, and they do so much work for us. Something that we couldn't do. There's only 5 of us really, and besides volunteers, but we call them staff members. There's only 5 of us, so we have a great relationship with the fairgrounds, and they do such an awesome job for us. So we definitely want to feed them.
I got you. Brian Payton said, "I'm sorry if any of the kids had to eat my brisket last year."
Well, we did pull some out, so
Just saw that.
That's hilarious. No, man, I tell you what, man, these people that's one thing about doing competition barbecue. It ruins you on going to restaurants and stuff. Like, I hate going to barbecue restaurants now for the most part, because I get to try the best barbecue in the world at day in, day out of these competitions, and then most of us, our worst is better than most of the restaurants are going to have locally. So. But no, man, that's fantastic. I saw on your Smoke on the Shore that you got a couple of shout outs or turkey smoke. You're going to be the official kickoff for turkey smoke this year.
Yeah, that's 2 years in a row. That's just awesome for us. Brings another element to the competition. Before we applied for to be part of the turkey smoke, and I think at the time we had 40 or 50 teams that had pre-registered. If we were even to have it. So I think this past year we had close to 60 teams do turkey smoke, which was the largest turkey smoke event they had outside of the Royal. So we would like to, obviously, we want to show up and show out.
Man.
The same thing again this year, which I think we will. People really enjoy the turkey smoke event. And there was a lot of creative ideas people turned in for turkey. So, and being inside the tent, I got to see them, and you're like, wow, that's pretty amazing.
That's one thing.
Payout isn't bad either.
What's that? Payout's not bad.
Payout isn't bad on that event.
No, but that's one thing I like about the turkey smoke is, day in, day out, we cook the same, same categories and same, pretty much meat every week. And then, turkey smoke or ancillaries, that's one thing I like about those because it allows us to be chefs, allows us to be creative. And I know the judges, they love those, ancillary categories and because they're like, oh, we've had 10,000 ribs and stuff, and it blows out our palate. So these turkey smoke, I'm sure they have some fantastic, fantastic food turned in.
It was pretty creative, what you could do with a turkey breast or whatever you cooked. And the rules are pretty lax. I mean, turkey's got to be the main thing, but a lot of creative ideas. And, we had some dessert competition. I don't know if you had this dessert last year, but standing there watching these things come in, I mean, my gosh, those are amazing, amazing ideas.
What was one of the most creative ones that stands out from you last year that you saw like with turkey or dessert? Does any of them stick out?
There was one that looked really good. It was like a turkey empanada.
Ooh.
Everyone at that table.
I will throw it out. Houston, take notes, man. Take notes.
Everyone at that table were like, that was legit. That was on point.
I'm not shigging. We're not shigging on this podcast at all. Anything else now?
But there were some other ones I can't recall. There was a ton of pictures taken, but some of these people got really, really creative, really, really chefy with it. And I think the judges liked it because, like you just said, they get ribs and chicken and pork and brisket all the time, but something outside the ordinary they don't see.
Absolutely. And also it's the Mid-South barbecue. Aren't you guys?
Yeah. So it's a new points race. Basically it's a Mid-South barbecue association. So basically I forget how many states it is, maybe 6 states. It's Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi.
I think every state touches Georgia, right?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it includes Georgia though. So
well, never mind. I lied.
But go to the website. They have a Facebook page.
But it called me out there. You can lie. It's okay.
Mid-South Barbecue Association.
Sure.
BBQ would be bbqassociation.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll tell you all about them. But
yeah, man.
It's a points race. They came to us and said they're starting this thing and they would love for us to be their kickoff event. And hey, anything that's going to promote barbecue, we want to help.
All for it, man. All for it. Anything that starts anew, I mean, I'm all about it. Any new trophies I can win, or at least in my head think I can win, I'm all for it.
Yeah, the team that's from Tennessee that wins it gets a pretty cool trophy. So
I saw that, man. I saw that. It was really cool. I mean, I won't ever get to have it, but I mean, maybe I'm sure Paul and will enjoy it in his house.
Oh, rooters and tutors are like a dynasty. It's like the Belichick era over there,
Paul, give us one, man. Just one time. Just sit out a year. It's like a vacation. You can do it, buddy. You ain't got to kick our tail every week.
Lynn and Paul taking so much of my money. I mean, I probably built their house.
It's insane. I feel like I'm donating to their charity. That's their pocketbooks every week. No, but they're fantastic people. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, man. So moving on. Speaking of competing, you yourself are a pro comp, correct?
Yeah, we do about probably 8 to 10 contests a year.
For 8 to 10, you sure do good. I remember in Bryan County, we went down there and you dropped the hammer on us, man. Didn't you GC the doubleheader? I was thinking it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, we were fortunate to win the first day, and then Paul and Lynn won the second day. But we had won the year before, so we went back to back, which never done that before. Probably never happen again, but that was really cool. So
that's a cool comp. I mean, that was our first year. We got sponsored by a local restaurant, and that was our first time kind of introducing into professional barbecue besides cooking our local non-sanctioned ones. And I get dropped into that bull pit with you boys and got my teeth kicked in. I think I did not come in last. We did not come in last. We did come in second to last, but we did beat somebody. So I will take that. And the knowledge I learned or shigged from you boys by walking around and talking, as Justin and Houston will say, I'm a good talker, more so than a barbecuer. Was worth the price of admission for sure.
That was a hot tournament.
That was an interesting tournament.
The first year was hot. I think the second year wasn't it really cold. The second year, no, it was hot.
Yeah, the year we went was hot. And my mom, Houston, was that the one my mom shattered her leg? I think it was.
Yeah.
That one.
It was. She fell down and broke her.
Bless my mom's heart, man. She literally fell down and like just shattered her legs. Had to call the EMTs and stuff over there. And right in the middle of turn-ins, I'm like stepping over my wounded mother, like, sorry, Mom, I got turn-ins. I gotta go.
Sorry.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I mean,
shout out, Mom. You're doing better now. Sorry about that. Was not being a very good son.
There is also not a leaf of kale to be purchased in Obion County.
No. We told that story, man. Our friends that went down there, he just wanted to hang out, and I had my fifth wheel at that point, and we had kale, and he stuck it in the freezer overnight, and we pulled it out, and that thing was just wilted, just brown. It looked terrible, and then we literally hit up every grocery store or Walmart we could find within a 30-mile radius to find enough kale to put it in a decent box for second to last place. That's why we got second. It wasn't our food. It was the kale, Houston. It was the kale. Everybody knows if you don't have pretty kale, you're not going to win.
Most of it was in fact not kale.
It's got to be the kale. No.
long leaf parsley was as good as I could find.
For sure.
It went to like 4 Walmarts to get it.
So Jason, if I remember, you switched cookers last year, right? Did you jump on the can bandwagon?
Yeah, so we've been cooking on a Fast Eddie for quite a long time, and we've won quite a few trophies, right? And we're very successful with it. It's a great cooker. I still have it here at the house. I love cooking on it. Mm-hmm. But we went to the KSBS World Invitational, the one in Gadsden, and noticed that like out of the top 15 or whatever it was a high number of teams that were cooking on cans, and we did well, and we got calls, but we finished like 20th or something like that, which is not shabby. But I told my father-in-law, who I cook with, I was like, hey, if we want to be in that upper echelon, the top 10, top 5, we're gonna have to change. So we took the jump and went to drums. It's been an interesting year. We've had a lot of ups and downs. First contest was Sipping Swine. Did fairly well there. Screwed up chicken really bad. Didn't really know what I was doing. And from there, we've done pretty well. So I like it. I really like the flavor.
That's cool, man. Why do you think that everybody's jumped on the can? I mean, us personally, a small batch barbecue, we have hopped on the we're the hybrid cookers. We start everything on the cans, and then when we wrap it, we throw it on the pellet grill to kind of throw it in the oven. Yeah. But why do you think people have made that jump? I blame Brad personally, but I mean, why do you think everybody's made the jump to the cans now?
I think it's the flavor. I mean, I think judges are looking for a particular flavor profile, and that flavor they're looking for is either a can or a stick burner. So not that you can't accomplish that on a pellet cooker, but a drum just puts off a different flavor, just like a stick burner puts off a different flavor. And I think that's what they're looking for. That's the best I can come up with. But I do I like the time. I like the cooking. It's faster.
Sleeping's nice.
You get to sleep nice, and I don't have to worry about on the Fast Eddie. I always had to worry about power, right?
Right.
So if I lost power in the night, and that's happened before where I lost power in the night. It would just totally glitched real quick, and then I wake up next morning and the meat's like at 120, and you're like, "Holy crap, what am I doing?" But with a drum, I mean, I'm getting up at 4:45 or so, starting lighting the drum, and no power, don't have to worry about power.
Fair enough.
Nice.
It is nice. It is nice for sure.
I feel like they don't run away from you like the stick burners do or can.
I've never cooked on a stick burner. So it took me a while to learn how to cook on a can because it can have some swings. But once I figured out what I was doing, I was okay with it. So it runs pretty. One thing I do notice now that I know what I'm doing, they're pretty consistent. Like and you can't walk away from it like a pellet smoker, because I was known for walking around at competitions just messing with people because I have all this time on my hands, so I just walk around and mess with people. But now with a drum, I mean, you can't walk away from it. I mean, you can for a few minutes, but those things can go from 300 to 400 really quickly.
And make sure the top of the lid is closed.
Yes.
Whenever I did that, and I take the can lid off, check the meat, put it back on, go talk to Justin, screw with him a little bit, and come back, and my pit's at 500 degrees. I'm like, oh crap!
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of little. I took a class. I took Schaefer's class. Like I did sip and swine.
Oh,
and then right after sip and swine, I took Chris Schaefer's class just because he cooks on drums, and I wanted to learn like a timeline, not necessarily seasonings and all that stuff. Although he does have some great seasonings, I wanted to learn timeline. And his class, if you're out there looking for a drum class, he puts on a fantastic class. And I learned a lot. I learned like what not to do, what to do, where to put stuff on the drum, when to rotate, all that kind of stuff. And that really, really helped me a lot. So the next contest we went out to was, I can't remember when the next one went out, but I think we finished. Oh, it was Dyersburg.
Okay.
Went to Dyersburg and we finished.
Nice.
We came in third overall. I thought we had a chance to win it, but that's the Drew Davis Invitational. That's what it is. So Razorbacks. I mean, he's won it like 3 years or 4 years in a row.
Yeah, I hear he knows decent barbecue. I don't know. No. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, Schaefer, I mean, I guess he's all right.
Yeah, he's decent enough.
He just won a jack. No big deal.
I hear he cooks a bit.
Yeah.
Oh man. Speaking of fun bloopers and outtakes, man, what is a failure that you're particularly fond of in this activity /hobby/lifestyle?
I've done some stupid things before. I've left injections at the house. I've left rubs at the house. I've never gone as far as leaving meat at the house.
Yeah.
Fortunately, knock on wood, we've never missed a turn in. So, that's good. Now, what's going to happen is I'll miss a turn in this year, but we have always, we pride ourselves to make sure we're on time. So, our timeline is laminated, so we stay to the timeline as much as possible. So, but we've done some stupid things over the years.
Yeah, that Houston, he hasn't missed a timeline.
Neither have we.
That's true.
But we got awfully close.
Yeah, Jason, last year at your competition, Mr. Houston Lyle here almost missed our first turn in by 1 second. We have a picture literally on the clock. It was 12:04:59, and he's laying his box. And he's laying his box down, and he dropped his damn hat, and he's worried about picking up his hat. I said, "Run, just run."
Yeah.
I'm gonna look good doing it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Coach Prime, look good, feel good, play good.
That's right.
Fair enough. There you go.
I mean, Coach is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades, so he got it in one time, right?
He's only my dad.
I always love hearing from the guys that like, what is the worst thing that you've ever turned in and still gotten a call?
Oh, well, let's see here. Years ago, we were at Winchester.
Okay.
And Winchester they were sponsored by Smithfield, I think it was. And on Friday nights, you had to do this pork loin. And and they had a wings competition. And I didn't know.
For like the Friday burns.
What's that?
For like the Friday night burns.
Yeah. So I did. They gave you a pork loin, and I cut it into pork. I poured it into pork chops, and then these things were butt ugly. I mean, they were horrible.
They had a good personality, though, right?
They had a good personality. So I butterflied them open. They were totally, I had a few drinks that night, so they were not cut evenly. They were not butterflied correctly.
Just the old.
Yeah, exactly. And the only season I put on it was Sweet Money from Big Papa Smokers. That's the only thing I put on it. And I got my Weber kettle grill out, and I was cooking them. Well, I burnt some of them, but I had 6 that I could turn in. And I went in and I found a jar of Blues Hog barbecue sauce that was been in my trailer for 2 years, at least 2 years.
I've heard of them. I've heard of those.
Dry aged.
Yeah, Blues Hog. I opened it up.
Had the crusties. Get the crusties
fermented.
So I smothered these pork chops and Blues Hog straight out of the jar, and I turned it in. It looked horrible. I mean, I told my father-in-law, it had sauce everywhere. I was just turning it in, just get it over with. So we turn it in. So they don't do the awards until the next day. So next day we have awards, and we got a 180 in those pork chops. Couldn't believe
That's a prime example of sauce it and send it. Yeah. That's it, man. Just sauce it and send it.
See what happens. But it was ugly. It was so ugly.
Plate and pray.
180.
Yeah.
180.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They must have been some hungry judges.
They
or
were, man.
blind, or
They were.
I don't know. It was.
They
I mean,
had,
it tasted
they had
fine,
some
I guess.
herbal tea before they judged, apparently.
Yeah, but I appreciate the pen. The pen was nice. So
There you go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure.
A win's a win.
I'll take
180 is a 180.
that's right. That's right. Unfortunately, it didn't go towards overall or anything like that.
Yeah, sure.
But that
So
check's nice.
We had a good. Our wings did really well. So yeah, we always liked that contest. I wish they'd bring that one back. That was a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. And your contest is a murderer's row on the names. But when you think about barbecue or success in this endeavor, who do you think of?
Ooh. Ooh.
So there's a lot of really good barbecue teams out there. I mean, teams that I want to emulate or teams I want to be like or be consistent. I think the name of this game is can you do it consistently? Like, can you produce the same product consistently? And I think that's where, like, you think of the Brads of the world and the Tims of the world. Their food's good, but they're consistent, right? So one around here that's really good, an Alabama team, is Robin Lex. Robin Lex, there was a while there when they showed up, you might as well pack up and leave because they were on it. Another one, a Tennessee team, Rooters and Tooters. I know Paul and Lynn are really close friends of ours, and I give Paul a lot of crap because it's fun, right? I like giving Paul crap, and he likes giving back to me. But they're really consistent and they're really good. I think that's the name of the game. Can you do it more than once the same way you did it before? And so being consistent, producing the same product every time, trying to hit your temperatures. But I mean, there's so many good teams out there. And one good thing about our contest is I get to see a lot of people that I normally don't get to see. There's teams from all over the country that come here, and is there a little bit of shigging going on? Of course. I got to come and do meat inspections, so I get to see what people are, they're using. But no, there's so many good teams. It'd be hard to pinpoint one or two, but there's consistency is the name of the game. And if you can make ribs or chicken and be consistent with it, that's something to be said because it's every piece of meat's different. So I don't know if that answers your question or not, but
it's a great answer.
I mean, those are awesome teams, Robert, and Smoke Me Silly and Rooters and Tooters. I mean, top notch. Definitely see them on the KCBS website, top 10 every year.
Oh yeah,
especially when they team up with Brian down there at Chewing the Fat down there sipping swine. Yeah. That's always fun seeing.
Yeah, Rob and Lex are great people, and that's one thing about competition barbecue. There's so many great people out there. At the end of the day, we're just cooking ribs in a parking lot, right? But
professional
the friendships you make, the friendships you have over the years, that's what's really the cool thing about barbecue. We're all going to win. We're all going to get our trophies and things like that. But the memories you make is really cool. So, but yeah, there's so many good teams from all parts of the country. And then you got to watch for those sleepers, right? So they may not cook a lot, but when they show up, you better watch out because they're going to they'll hang a 700 on you real quick.
Right.
Right. Do any of them stand out in your mind as being particularly helpful to you as a mentor? Because I know we've gone back and looked at some of the stuff we were turning in our early days, and oh boy, is it! And nobody gets there by themselves. So I'm always wondering once you guys get to that status, where did any of them mentor you along the way?
So I've been doing this quite a long time. So my first professional competition was 2003.
Oh wow!
So, but we lived in a small town, and we did the contest they had at the fair. We did that one every year until it stopped in 2009.
I feel like that's a lot of people's origin stories.
Yeah,
in this hobby.
Yeah. It was me and my brother, and we the first year was my brother and I. We did it to goof off, right? Just talking trash.
Drinking team.
Yeah, but I loved it. It was fun. I got to meet a lot of really cool people. Now, at the time, I didn't know that I was meeting barbecue royalty, but I got to meet Johnny Trigg and Dr. Barbecue and J Mac Smoker. A lot of older teams that no one really knows, but a lot of like barbecue royalty come to this contest, and we would do it every year just to have a good time. And then they stopped doing the contest, and we started doing more than one contest a year. So Whistle Stop, we love Whistle Stop. Wish that contest would come back. But in the early years, it was a lot different than it is now. Everyone has trailers or fifth wheels or something like that. Back then, it was literally you're up under a pop-up tent. And one that really helped me was a guy named Milt Collins from the All Good barbecue team. He doesn't compete anymore, but he does SCA, and he helped me learn how to trim a brisket at that time. And of course, trimming now for a competition is a whole lot different than it was back in 2003 because we waste a lot of meat, I'm sure, right? So we would cook whole briskets back then, which we don't do now. We're just cooking flats, right?
Were you low and slow back then?
Yeah, we were low and slow back then. So, and that's the way most people were doing it. Was low and slow. Maybe
was there any hot and fast back in the day, or was it?
What's that?
Was there any hot and fast back in the day, or was it mainly like 225, 250? I'm cooking this thing all night.
I think most of it was 225, 250, 275. I don't think you saw anybody cooking hot and fast back then. But I've had some teams kind of bring me on their wing. Blue Bloods, they don't compete anymore. But he really helped me. I was at a contest in Clarksville years ago, and he was next to us. And they
the barbecue bash.
Yes, yeah. And he was next to us. His name was Stars. And they did really well. They did really well. And he come over after the competition and said, "Hey, you're doing a lot of things right, but there's some few things you're not doing right." So he offered for me to come to a contest with him in Cleveland, Tennessee. And
oh wow,
I learned a lot. He really, really helped me. And back then, another thing was there wasn't a lot of classes back then.
Right.
You had the barbecue form and stuff like that. But how you learned or how you found out what worked or not was you just cooked it. So, but over the years, there's been so many good teams that kind of helped me along the way. Rooters and Tooters. They're great friends. So. We talk a lot, and they, hey, what do you think about this? Have you tried that? And I think every barbecue teams needs somebody in that world where you can just say, hey, even though we compete against each other, they're on a different level than I am. They compete, 40 times a year, and I'm competing, 5 to 10. So I'm really no threat to them, but I can bounce ideas off of them. And
right.
See
well, they got that fancy RV now, man.
I know
they got to put that to you. That thing's nice.
It's nice. Yeah, they're trying to talk my wife into getting one of those things.
Oh man, I took the Atlanta barbecue store class last year, and they did chicken. By the way, best chicken I ever had in my life. Yeah. Now I understand why he kicked my butt every time.
Yeah, they're good at chicken.
They're really everything. Yeah, man. They put in the miles for sure. Man, I talked to them about how many they do, and I'm like, whew, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's goals right there. My wife's not letting me to get there, but one day.
Well, my wife won't let me get there either. But no, 1 year I would like to chase points 1 year. Just do it. Just go all out.
Yeah, man.
But it's tough. I've got 2 kids and all that stuff, so it's just tough to do.
Right.
Absolutely. When you go to these contests, do you have any kind of trailer ritual that you're particularly fond of?
No. When we were on the FE, it was basically set up. We'd stop, level off, get water, get power, and we're done. So now, we like to be close to friends, like everyone else does. They want to be close to friends, but yeah, we try to get there on Fridays. There's a few contests we want to try to get there, on Thursdays, but most every contest we're getting there Friday afternoon.
Nice.
Nice.
So do you have anything that's your favorite barbecue item that you purchased?
Favorite barbecue item?
Yeah,
you can't say pen.
And you can't. We said you can't say a pen. You can't say your cans. But something that somebody can purchase, like say under $100 or something that you really couldn't live without. Like for me, it'd be the hot dog tongs. Hot dog tongs really It has to be on our trailer at all times.
What's hot dog tongs? Just really long tongs?
Hot dog tongs, man. You gotta look it up, dude. It's super long tongs. They got a little roller at the bottom. I totally shoot
Tiny
that
little
for Bill
roller at
Purvis.
the
I'm not
bottom.
gonna lie. Shout out Bill Purvis. He'll be on the show. But yeah, man, helps with your chicken. It like grabs so you don't like scald hot. Like I have these big like meaty clappers that when I grab the chicken, like half the rub comes off. So we got these hot dog tongs. You grab them, pick them up, and set them in your can. And it's awesome.
Right, you're not fumbling over it with your Shrek
Yeah, look them up,
paws.
man. It's the best $11 of your life.
I have to Google that. I don't really, I'm kind of the KISS method, right? Keep it simple, stupid.
Fair enough.
I think a lot of people overthink a lot of things. So, like injections and rubs and the whole 9 yards. We tend to, as barbecuers, as competition barbecuers, we tend to overthink it. And really, if we just keep it simple, it's probably better. But I don't really have anything like I gotta have. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, knives.
There you go.
I think a good knife goes a long way. So
Sharp knife, a good sharp
very
knife.
sharp knife. Yeah. And I used to use an electric knife to cut my briskets and ribs and all that kind of stuff. And I got away from that. I noticed that most people, though these top teams, they don't use electric knives. They all use a lot of really sharp knives. So, and if you look at your brisket, like if you slice a brisket with an electric knife, you get to see all the lines in it where it's cutting it.
Mm-hmm.
And from a judging standpoint, judges pick up on that, right? I mean, the little things that people pick up on. So this year, or last year, I went to using just a really sharp knife, and you can actually tell, like when you start slicing that brisket or slicing those ribs with a really sharp knife. I mean, you know pretty good. Well, if it's good or not. I'm like, oh, that's good, or
right.
That's not good.
Right. Somebody told me like I know a team that uses electric knife for theirs, but they said the first slice is always with a normal knife because that's when you know if you got it.
Okay.
Is when you do that first meat slicer on the knife, but the rest of them they do for consistency. I guess I don't know for the electric knife, but that's a good point. That when you cut into it, it's like when you probe. When when you get to a certain point in competition, when you probe, you just know.
Yeah. And that's I think for me, that's where going to drums this past year, I struggled early on the whole year I struggled with knowing when it was done because I came from a pellet smoker where I was cooking really long hours to where I'm cooking really hot and fast. And it took me a while to understand that I had to go over, I need to go over where I wanted to be because it's going to come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it really was hard for me to grasp that concept. So, and I still struggle with that. I mean, but you know how competitions are. You go and you're like, oh, I hate that brisket, and then you get a freaking 180 in brisket, and you're like, I didn't deserve that.
You can ask Houston and Justin, like when they ask me that, the dreaded question, oh, how'd you do? Every time, my same response, I'm not last. I don't think I got last place, but I'll never say it's a good thing. The only time I said it was good, I actually thought I did terrible and I left. And then Justin called me when I was on the road. I didn't even stay for awards. I was on the road, and Justin goes, "Oh, hey man, you just won the whole thing." I'm like, "Shut up, man. No, I didn't."
He hung up on me.
And then sure enough, I won the whole thing. So I'm like, all right, cool. That's why.
Yeah, our tagline for years is because when we first started, we just wanted to get a call, right? And that was our goal, was just to get a call. Yeah, hear our name, right? So even today we go to a competition. Our goal is just to get a call. Sometimes it's really good calls, and sometimes it's not so good calls. But hey, to go and get your name called, that's always exciting.
Always a good day.
Besides your contest, what's your favorite barbecue competition or destination?
There's so many good ones. There's so many good ones. I really like Cervero.
That's a great one.
One of my favorites. I mean, small. We've done really well there. I've never got the big gavel, but we've got a couple of the RGC gavels.
The bowls.
Yeah, those are really nice trophies. I want to go to contests that have really cool trophies, right? So I like that contest. I love the bluegrass festival they have with it. That's amazing. And they've there's an Amish donut place. Here's a little pro tip: Amish donut place at Sevierville.
Ooh.
I'd take on Right on Cue podcast. Amish Donuts in Sevierville. Dolly Parton,
it's off the chain. It's good. It's good.
They were made with Dolly Parton's love and kisses.
Yes.
And I bet they're open from 9 till 5. Check, Mike, check. Okay, yeah.
I like Sevierville.
Plugs for the Amish.
Yes. If you've never been,
good plugs.
If you've never been to Murfreesboro, Illinois, probably one of the most unique trophies there is in competition barbecue. They have the glass apples, and it's a place where you can. It's a who's who of barbecue, right? It's not a huge competition, but there are a lot of big names there, and I like the glass apples. Those are really cool trophies.
Is that the only contest that has the tri contest? Because they do MBN, SCA, and KCBS, right, in Murfreesboro?
That's the only one I've ever been to where they do all three.
Yeah, so, yeah. That's definitely on the buy. Have you taken home one of those beautiful apples?
I've got a few of them.
You got
those are nice apples.
I got talk about Sevierville. I got a funny story about Sevierville. First year, me and my wife went down to Sevierville. We took the kids. That was the first contest. We took the kids, and they put you in the parking lot right by the courthouse.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. That
yeah.
I think they moved it this year, but it was right downtown.
Yeah,
and so like we got set up, and we're like right next to Johnny Trigg, and I remember like walking out. It's like 4 a.m. in the morning, and I had to use the restroom. And so we have a porta potty that we rented, and we walked right outside, and I'm just in my basketball shorts and no shirt on because I'm like, it's 4 a.m. Nobody's up or nobody's going to care to see me. And I walk out, and it's all the police officers of Sevierville are doing a active shooter drill. And I walked out. I'm like, okay. I'm like, hello, officers. Don't mind me. I'm going to go back inside now. I don't have to pee now. So
nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Yeah, my wife will say. Nothing to see.
Nothing to see.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So if you could change one thing about competition barbecue, what would it be?
That's a loaded question. So,
that's what we have here on Right on Cue podcast.
That's a loaded question.
We're swinging for the fences.
Don't want to make it easy.
I'd say that that's a loaded question.
Come on now, it's all good. We can do the political question. Everybody wins.
KCBS does a lot of great things right. They do a lot of things right, but there's some things they need to improve on. I'll leave it at that.
Fair enough.
I think that they are the best. I think they're the best sanctioning body there is.
Hands down.
But they have their issues they need to work on, and I know they just had an election, so I hope that this board focuses on the things that matter and not get bogged down in the weeds of something else. Let's focus on what the core mission of KCBS should be. So that's what I hope.
Sure.
Yeah.
How about one that you have to be less political about? If you could swap one of these proteins out, what would you do?
If I could swap out what now?
If you could swap out one of the proteins at a KCBS comp, what would you do?
Take one protein out, put a new protein in. What would you add?
Oh, protein.
Yeah, protein. A little less hot.
Let's see here.
Back the temperature off the question.
Pour a little water on it.
See, I would probably, I don't know. I mean, I think the hardest thing to cook is probably ribs. Because there's not a lot of meat on them, right? It's a short cook. But I think ribs are probably the hardest, and then brisket maybe after that. I guess I would take out chicken.
Take out chicken?
Yeah, I don't know how to replace it with, but I mean, chicken's the devil's meat, right? So
it is the devil's meat. It is the redheaded stepchild of competition barbecue.
Yeah.
Shout out Justin Turner.
Yeah.
Maybe squirrel or rabbit or
rabbit. No, mine will be take out brisket, and I want to go West Coast and add tri-tip because I love tri-tip.
that'd be good.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So what are some of the goals you got for this year?
Goals this year, right now, just get through this contest. Get through the contest.
That little thing. What?
We normally do sip and swine, which is another contest that we really like. But we won't be there this year. It's my wife's 50th birthday. If I go cook that contest, she'll probably kill me. So
Maybe.
we're not doing that one.
Probably.
But I guess the goal would be, we'd like to get a GC. That'd be nice. Ultimately just want to, get some calls, and see some friends and have good times and make some memories. But I would love to go to. I may go back to Death's Door this year. That's always a really cool contest. And that's another one. If you've never been to Death's Door, it's like a destination thing. It's Washington Island. It's you take a ferry over to the island. That's really cool. It's a long drive though. It's like 13 hours. So
woof.
Yeah, we did it like 3 years ago. I don't know if I do that again. But.
What city is that in?
So it's in
state?
Wisconsin.
All right, there you go.
It's called Washington Island. So you go all the way up through Sturgis Bay, and then you get on this ferry, and they ferry you across. I think it's Lake Michigan, and you get on this island, which is a lot of really historical things there. I went there years ago with Kenny Nadeau. He's out of Florida. Good friend of mine, Jeff Alexander, and had a blast. It's out of airfield. They land on the airfield. It's a grass airfield. So, but I don't know. Goals this year is probably, love to get a GC.
Boy, it's up there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's way up there.
It's north of Green Bay.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes,
No, man, I'm already windburned from this winter we got now in Tennessee, which is nothing compared to the rest of the country. But you cold boys can keep that snow to yourself.
Yeah, I mean it's like right below the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was a really fun trip.
I bet.
Really long drive.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
With the trailer.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. It was a long drive.
I bet.
Nice.
All right, man. Well, this is the time of the man. Time of my favorite part of the show, man. We got the rapid fire. Mr. Justin, you want to take it away? I mean, Jason, these are all heavy hitters, super political, religion. We cover everything in the spectrum, man. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Quick answers, no thought.
Okay.
So the first one up, we got what's your favorite thing to cook at the house?
Brisket.
Nice. What's your favorite category?
Probably ribs.
All right. What's one thing you have to always have in your trailer?
Knife.
Go-to meal at your when you're out of competition.
Mexican.
Nice.
Good man.
One thing that you know now that you wish you knew at the beginning of your barbecue career.
Stop.
And lastly, fat cap up or down?
What was that?
Fat cap up or down?
Oh, would you say fat cap up or down?
Yeah.
Down.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Well, man, Jason, thank you so much for coming on the show today. You've been an awesome guest, man. We love coming to your show or your contest. You're always the most gracious host of any contest we go to all year.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir, man. Do you have any plugs you want to do or any shout outs you want to give?
Well, we still have, I guess, 10 or 11 spots open in the pro competition. So if you're interested in cooking, go to our website, smokeontheshores.com. If you're interested in judging, we still need some judges. So check that out as well. So many sponsors that I could mention that make our world go around, but they're all on our website. So we look forward to seeing everyone in March, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
Man, thank you so much for coming on,
Thank
man.
you.
We look forward to having you on.
And we look forward to being there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. We'll see you in March, buddy.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Okay. Man, guys, another show, another great one. Guys, I mean, if you're a competition team and you haven't signed up for Smoke on the Shore, what are you doing? I mean, honestly, wouldn't y'all agree? I mean, if you could go to one contest a year this is one that would be on top of my list.
Oh,
By
yeah.
far.
It's up on the list for sure.
By far.
I mean, not only for pro, but for backyard too. I mean, it's the greatest show on barbecue.
It's the who's who of the sport. It's very conveniently located.
And honestly, you're not going to find a more gracious host and a better location than you are when you come to Lebanon. Hence why the KCBS World's going to be there this year, right?
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Yeah, buddy.
Looking forward.
Yeah, man. I'm loving that close location. Well, me and Houston will be there in a small batch, and I'm sure Justin and Norrell will be there because they're going to win the whole damn thing. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Well, guys, that's our show today. I want to thank everybody who watched us today and everybody who's followed us. I think we're up to 750 followers.
Who's counting?
Who's counting? But guys, no, if you could do us a big favor and share this episode, give us a like, give us a follow. We got great content coming up. I got some big names lined up that we're going to announce here soon. And as a little thank you for our after the big response we had at our first show, I think we're going to decide to give a little barbecue package to whoever to be qualified. You got to share, like, and follow this podcast. But we have some good little goodies that we will randomly pick. We have some little slabs rub. I heard that guy knows a thing or two about barbecue. Same thing goes with some Blues Hog Rise and Brine. Tim, he knows one thing too about chicken. And friend of the show, friend of mine, Mr. Bob Tredneck, Alpha Rub.
Friend of the pod.
Ever had this stuff? It is amazing on just everything. Put it on a turd, it'll make it bearable. But as we like to say here at Right on Cue Podcast, may you have great friends, even better barbecue. Guys, you have anything you want to say to the fans? To the
Stay
viewers?
warm out there.
Yeah. Stay warm and tune in next week.
That's right, man. Next week we got a great one. Who's on our show? Oh yeah, Bob Tredneck. Bob Tredneck of Bobby T Brands, man. He's the big man of barbecue. It's gonna be a fun one. Love talking to him. But until next time, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week. See ya.
See you guys.
That's all, folks.